Hello, and welcome to Building Digital Communities, Book Clubs for All. I am Shannon Woods, librarian at Quill Valley Middle School.
And I'm Shelly Puckett from James Bowie Middle School.
And I'm David Sinclair, school librarian at Sugarland Middle School.
This journey began shortly after our district shut down for COVID in March 2020. As a collective, the middle school librarians saw a need to keep the students engaged and connected during the pandemic. So we decided to run a multi-genre book club that accepted all students. I created a course in Schoology, our learning management system, and made some standard graphics and images. This was our first banner. We separated and claimed our genres. We shared the course code with our students through our individual campus Schoology courses and created polls about what they wanted to read. We would then hold our book club meetings, one genre per week, and offer students 3 to 5 activities per book. During its heyday, we would have 20 to 40 students actively participate in the club meetings via Teams, depending on the genre, and thousands of interactions online. This community development led to some interesting student requests, including fan clubs.
Shelly here. So our first fan club was Percy Jackson, and shortly after that one took off, students requested a Naruto fan club. But a student reached out to me in her best persuasive voice saying that, quote, many students agreed on having a Percy Jackson club, but they just needed a sponsor. So I agreed with the caveat that I would oversee it, but all the content would need to be student-led, as I was, of course, very busy with my programming at the campus level. So I opened up a folder within our district book club course, and I set up a simple structure for it. Participation was immediate, so I took nominations and ran an election for a student committee to represent the fan club and discuss and decide what content they wanted. I chose one liaison that could communicate with me on what folders and discussions would be posted in the fan club. This helped to stop 1,000 emails a day with random requests for added content. I lurked in the forums, but rarely chimed in unless someone needed addressing or redirection. As the club grew and the posts numbered in the thousands, I laid down the law on participation expectations, and though I still lurked, the die-hard PJ members became very protective of their space and really good at self-managing the discussions and reporting to me any issues. Once the structure and expectations were set up, the club ran with minimal effort on my part and continued to grow exponentially throughout the year. Discussion was so heavy within the fan club that I had to start breaking down the discussions into months because the course was struggling to load all the heavy threads. At the end of that year, we had almost 60,000 participation posts in our district book club, with about 50,000 of those coming out of the Percy Jackson fan club. The data was clear that the real bread and butter was in the fandom and random discussions, so that became our focus for year 2.
The resounding success of these activities motivated us to expand the club further. If there were already students who enjoyed talking with their peers about books and fandoms, what about a forum where they could choose their own topics of discussion? We followed that line of inquiry and created a system of discussion boards to give students a platform to express themselves and build relationships. At the heart of this forum was the idea of student choice. Kids could request discussion boards on almost any subject. Books, of course, but also anime and manga, games and other media, classes at school. We wanted them to feel that any topic they cared about was worthy of discussion and validation. Over the course of the year, we created around 100 different boards. Here you can see an assortment of them. All of these were requested by students. Once boards hit around 300 posts, which happened pretty often, they would be deleted or continued into new ones. It was such a treat reading, responding to, and being surprised by all the things our students shared during the year. These included such highlights as book recommendations, anime fandom essays, photo sharing, and existential crises. Leveraging the community that was expanded by the boards, we asked students what new fan club they most wanted to see for the spring semester. There were many requests, but one led the pack straight into the wizarding world, and our Intradistrict Harry Potter fan club was born. The club started by sorting students into their Hogwarts houses using online surveys. We then made editable PowerPoints for Bitmojis and linked them in house-specific folders alongside discussion boards where students could chat with their housemates. Most of the club activity, however, came from the role-playing section. Using many suggestions from students, we created guidelines and made boards for a plethora of locations both within and outside Hogwarts. Students could attend magical classes together, explore the Forbidden Forest, kick back in Hogsmeade, and more. We also encourage student writers with fan fiction challenges and collaborative writing. Watching the success of these efforts provided much food for thought. What other types of creative writing opportunities might be utilized next school year?
The bottom line is that clearly the participation numbers show that the book club was a huge success with students, but the comments speak to a deeper level of success. Our students not only wanted this, they needed this book club.
So what will this look like next year? We're going to embrace what the students want and create a safe space for all nerds, geeks, and dorks to unite over their specific fandoms.
We know this is a lot of information, so please feel free to reach out with any questions you might have. Thanks for watching.